Hello students, welcome back. Today we will learn about improvement in food resources. In the 8th standard, you had already done about crop production. Now you will watch the video properly and note down the important points. Food and food resources. What is food? Food is like a fuel to give energy to the living beings. Food is any nourishing substance that is taken into the body to sustain life is called food. Food is having many nutrients like carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins, minerals, roughage, etc., which provide different functions in our body. Need of food. Can you live without food? No. No living being can live without food because food provides energy for various life activities like growth, development, reproduction, etc. It helps in repairing the worn out cells and tissues. आपने देखा होगा when you get injury or when you are getting wounds, then after 2, 3, 4 days it get recovered. It get recovered due to the food which helps in forming new cells and tissues. It gives us energy to work and play. Food resources and its types. Resources are those from which anything can be obtained. So, resources from which we are getting food, these are called food resources. Food resources, they are mainly two food resources like plants and animals. And आपने देखा होगा mostly we are taking plant and plant products. Animal products, they are milk, meat, egg, etc. So about 80% of our food requirement is fulfilled by plants and rest of it by animals. Now, growing crop plants in the field for food purposes is called farming or agriculture. Agriculture actually is a science or technique by which the crop plants they are raised in the field. आपने फील्ड में देखा होगा कि एक ही टाइप के बहुत सारे प्लांट्स ऑन लार्ज स्केल दीज सेम टाइप ऑफ प्लांट्स दे आर ग्रोन. So these are called crop plants or crops. Rearing animals to obtain milk, meat, eggs is called animal husbandry. Plant resources. Different crop plants require different climatic conditions such as temperature, humidity, photoperiods. Photoperiods होती है duration of light to which the plants are exposed. And on the basis of photoperiods, we can classify the different plants into different categories like long day plant, short day plants and neutral plants. आपने देखा होगा कि some plants they only give flowers and fruits in summers, which are long day plants, and some plants they give flowers and fruits in winters, these are short day plants. Some are neutral plants not having such effect of duration of light. Now what are crops? The plants grown in the fields for food are called crop plants. These crops are of different types such as food crops, fodder crops, commercial crops. Food crops जो हमारे खाने के which provide us food, हमें खाना देती है. Cereals जिनको हम कहते हैं अनाज, अन्न. pulses, दालें, fruits, vegetables, etc. Fodder crops, barsim, sorghum, oat, etc. Commercial crops which are grown to earn money, these are called commercial crops like jute, cotton, tea, coffee, etc. So, types of crops on the basis of season. In India, there are different seasons, and in different seasons, we are having different crops. So, there are two types of crops, Kharif crops and Rabi crops. Kharif crops are also called summer crops, which are grown in rainy season from June, July to September, October. Requires hot or high temperature and humid conditions or moisture. For example, maize, millet, soya beans, etc. Rabi crops. Rabi crops are also called winter crops, which are grown during winter from October-November to March-April. For example, wheat, gram, mustard, barley, pea, etc. These are grown in winters and we are getting in summer. Summer crops we are grown in summer and getting in winters. Different revolutions. Listen, for our food purposes, we know that our population is growing continuously. And for this increased population, we need more and more food. But this food can be increased only either by increasing the space or land for cultivation or by using the high yielding varieties of the plants. Increasing the lands for cultivation purposes, this is not possible because we need the plant for other purposes also, like residential purposes, industrial purposes and transportation, etc. So we cannot afford to increase this land for cultivation purposes. Only the solution is that we should use the high yielding breeds or varieties of the plants. So in this field, our scientists, they work to invent or to discover the high yielding varieties of plants. So first of all, Green Revolution. This program was launched to increase the wheat production. Dr. Norman Borlaug is called the father of Green Revolution. He and his team developed a high-yielding variety of wheat in Mexico which was dwarf and intensively branched. Short height में, this plant was short in height and having profuse branching. बहुत सारी branches थी क्योंकि जितनी branches होंगी उतने flowers और fruits और seeds ज़्यादा होंगे. Dr. M.S. Swaminathan is known as Indian father of Green Revolution because he introduced the Mexican wheat variety to India and the production of wheat increased multiple times. To achieve this green revolution, there are different approaches like crop variety improvement, management of crop production, management of crop protection. About these approaches, we will do later on in this lesson. White revolution. Increase in milk production by improving the breed of milk animals, milk yielding animals, is called white revolution. Dr. V. Kurian is known as father of white revolution. Blue revolution. Blue revolution is related to increase the fish production. Golden revolution. Golden revolution is related to increase the production of pulses. Improvement in crop variety. Crop variety improvement. It is the technique of bringing together various useful characters from different varieties of the same or different varieties of crop plants into one crop variety. In the surrounding, हम surrounding में देखते हैं that the different plants or different varieties they are having useful characters. किसी का जो है लीफ बहुत अच्छे हैं, कोई जो है रेजिस्टेंट टू वेराइटी है, किसी में जो है सीड्स बहुत अच्छे हैं. तो these useful characters, desirable characters, they are bringing together to raise this or to improve this crop variety. This is called crop variety improvement. Crop variety improvement is done to increase the production, to improve the nutritive value of the plant, to make it resistant to disease, to adapt the different surroundings. So, objectives of crop variety improvement. Here we will do about the objectives of crop variety improvement. क्या क्या हैं? अब देखिए, सबसे पहले हाई यील्डिंग वेराइटीज. We are trying to develop more and more high yielding varieties so that we can get more and more crops or harvest or yield. Next is improved quality crops. Quality of the crops is improved by this crop variety improvement. In pulses, the proteins, amount of proteins or value of protein is improved. In wheat, baking quality is improved. So, in this way, we are trying to improve the variety of or quality of these different crops. Varieties resistant to biotic and abiotic factors. Biotic factors, that is livings, and abiotic factors, non-living. So, the variety they are developed which are resistant to biotic like infection from fungus or bacteria, protozoa that can be prevented. Abiotic like humidity or to avoid the loss caused by humidity, high temperature, etc. Early maturation, that is the next objective, means आप देखिए क्रॉप जितनी जल्दी मैच्योर होगी we can get more and more harvest from the same field. अगर हमें ईयर में 3 हार्वेस्ट मिल रही है एक लैंड से, we can get 4 from that land. Generally 3 months they are required to mature crops. If it is getting 3 or 4 before that, if it is getting matured, we can get more crops from the same land and can get more economic benefits. Wider adaptability. Wider adaptability means those type of plants we are trying to develop which can grow successfully in any type of climatic conditions. So loss of crop failure, that will be reduced. It can be grown where the water availability is low or high. Desirable agronomic traits. Those characters we need in our crop. Agronomic traits or characters like high yield or resistant to disease or infections, और हैविंग प्रोफ्यूज ब्रांचिंग, बहुत सारी ब्रांचिंग होंगी तो बहुत सारा हमारी हार्वेस्ट होगी इन फूड क्रॉप्स. बट इन फॉडर क्रॉप्स वी नीड द हाई ग्रोथ ऑफ दिस वेजिटेटिव ग्रोथ शुड बी हाई, मीन्स प्लांट शुड बी tall and having more and more leaves and other parts, and easy to acclimatize. Acclimatize means to adapt to the surrounding conditions. In less and less time it is able to adapt itself or adjust itself according to the surrounding condition, that is called acclimatize. So easy to acclimatize if we are transferring from one place to another. Method of crop variety improvement. Here is one method for improvement, crop variety improvement, that is hybridization. Hybridization is the cross breeding between genetically dissimilar plant varieties. When the two different plants in our surrounding, they are having the desirable characteristics, we are trying to bring them from different plants to in one plant. So that is called hybridization. This hybridization is of different types. Intervarietal means between two different varieties of the same species. Interspecific, between two different species of same genus. Intergeneric, between two different genus, जो different genus से genre से ही belong करती हैं, this is called intergeneric hybridization. So by this method we are trying to develop hybrid varieties of crop plants. Steps of hybridization. How this hybridization take place? First step is choice of plant varieties. पहले तो हम अपनी सराउंडिंग में क्या करते हैं? We search about the plant varieties or desirable characteristics which we want to bring in one plant. Wild plant varieties with different desirable characters are identified for cross breeding. सबसे पहले तो उनको आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं. Then cross breeding between selected varieties. अब cross breeding करते हैं those varieties we had selected for this purpose. Pollen grains from the flowers of one variety. अब इनमें एक प्लांट से क्या करते हैं हम? We are taking pollen grains and are transferred to the stigma of flowers of other variety. और इसको दूसरे प्लांट के फ्लावर्स के स्टिग्मा पे ट्रांसफ़र करते हैं. कैसे करते हैं? We take one flower, pluck the one flower, male flower, or pluck the flower from the plant and dust it over the flower of other plant which is attached or which is still on the plant. In this way, pollination takes place, and after pollination, it is covered with cellophane and marked that it is crossbreeded. The seeds formed by this process are collected and sown to develop hybrid plants. अब इससे जो सीड्स कलेक्ट हुए हैं उनको हम दोबारा से ग्रो करते हैं. दीज आर हाइब्रिड प्लांट्स. अब इसमें देखते हैं कि डिजायरेबल करेक्टरिस्टिक आए हैं या नहीं आए. अगर नहीं आए हैं देन वी रिजेक्ट देम. अगर आए हैं तो इसकी फिर हम फर्दर जो है नेक्स्ट जनरेशन ग्रो करते हैं. इन दिस वे वी ग्रो इट टू मैनी जनरेशन, 3-4 जनरेशन, एंड देन वी आर starting to use or marketing these seeds, hybrid seeds, for growing purposes. Next is GMO. GMO, this is genetically modified crops or genetically modified organisms, GMO, full form of this. And this is developed by recombinant of DNA technique. What we are doing in this, that one part of genotype is changed by taking one part of gene, or that is transferred to other organism by genetically engineering. Then the product is genetically modified organisms. Have you heard about GM brinjal, GM cotton, in which the genotype of some animals or other genus, they are used to develop high yielding varieties of plants. Genetically modified crops are produced by introducing desired genes in the nucleus of the plant cells. Management of crop production. This is the next part. First is crop variety improvement. Next approach, that is management of crop production or nurturing the plant's nutrient management. Plants require certain inorganic elements like other living organisms for their growth and development. There are only 16 essential elements for plant growth and development. जैसे हमें बहुत सारे कार्बोहाइड्रेट, प्रोटीन्स, विटामिन चाहिए, इसी तरह से प्लांट्स को भी न्यूट्रिएंट चाहिए, एंड दीज आर 16 essential elements, and these 16 elements, they are classified into macronutrients and micronutrients. Macronutrients are those elements which are required by plants in relatively large quantities. These are called macronutrients. Out of 16 essential elements, 9 are macronutrients. But out of these 9 macronutrients, 3 elements, they are obtained from the surrounding like air and water. From air, carbon and oxygen, and from water, hydrogen is taken. And remaining 6 elements, they are absorbed from the soil in the form of minerals. These are nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium, and sulfur. Micronutrients. Micronutrients are those elements which are required by plants in very small quantities for enzymatic activities or act as catalyst for many biochemical reactions. There are 7 micronutrients such as iron, manganese, boron, zinc, copper, molybdenum, and chlorine. Mineral replenishment. Replenishment means rebuilding. You will see that we are growing crops in the field, and these crops, they absorb the mineral nutrient from the soil. When same type of plants we are growing again and again on the same piece of land, then in this soil the mineral deficiency is created, and this type of mineral deficiency, that is replenished or restored by adding manures and fertilizers. In order to restore soil fertility and increased crop yield, the soil is replenished with mineral nutrients by adding manures and fertilizers. Now, what is manure? Manure and its types. Manure is partially decomposed organic matter derived from plants and animal waste. आपने देखा होगा कि फील्ड में हम बहुत सारा कैटल एक्सक्रीटा या गार्बेज, उसको हम पहले डिकम्पोज करते हैं, कन्वर्टेड इनटू कंपोस्ट और मैन्योर, एंड देन इट इज यूज्ड इन द फील्ड. It is prepared by the decomposition of cattle excreta and plant waste. Manure contains all types of nutrients, but these are present in very small amount. So that help in fulfilling or this compensating the general deficiency of the soil. There are different types of manures like farmyard manure, compost, vermicompost, green manure. Farmyard manure. Farmyard manure is prepared from organic remains of farm cattle and crop residue. आपने देखा होगा जब फील्ड में से हम हार्वेस्टिंग हो जाती है, then some part of plants or stems they remain there in the field. This leftover is called farmyard waste. Some farmers they burn it and some they convert into farmyard manure. Compost. Mixture of decomposed organic matter derived from garbage, sewage, sludge, etc. Vermicompost. Vermicompost कैसे होती है? By introduction of earthworms in the heap of organic matter. Earthworm they feed on decomposed organic matter present in the soil and convert into the humus. So this vermicompost is prepared by these earthworms, so it is called vermicompost. Green manure. ग्रीन मैन्योर कैसे बनाते हैं? प्रिपेयर्ड बाय कल्टीवेटिंग फास्ट ग्रोइंग लेग्यूमिनस प्लांट्स. आपने देखा होगा कि फील्ड में फार्मर्स जब एक जो क्रॉप होती है हार्वेस्ट करते हैं, इन बिटवीन दीज टू क्रॉप्स टू बी सोन द नेक्स्ट क्रॉप, इन बिटवीन दीज फॉर फ्यू डेज और 1 month or about 20 days, 15 days, they grow these leguminous plants like berseem, sun hemp, guar. इस तरह की जो है क्रॉप सो करते हैं. एंड जब ये क्रॉप दिस क्रॉप when it is raised to 15 days 10 days or these are small plantlets, then it is mixed with the soil to enrich the soil with mineral nutrients. So this is called green manure. Advantages of using manure. Manure provides organic matter or humus to the soil, which improves the quality of soil. It provides food for soil organisms like bacteria, fungi, and earthworms. It contains all the nutrients in small quantity. So a large volume of manure is added to maintain soil fertility. क्योंकि बहुत थोड़े अमाउंट में होते हैं न्यूट्रिएंट, सो वी हैव टू ऐड दिस मैन्योर इन लार्ज क्वांटिटी. फील्ड में देखा होगा आपने कि जो बुलेट कार्ट होते हैं, दे आर filled with this manure and added to the soil. It helps in recycling of farm waste. Fertilizers. Fertilizers, these are also called chemical fertilizers. Fertilizers are synthetic chemical substances which are added to the soil to restore its mineral nutrients. These are prepared in the industries, or man-made fertilizers are there. They are nutrient specific. आपने देखा होगा बाजार में मार्केट में आती है एनपीके। एनपीके मीन्स नाइट्रोजन, फास्फोरस एंड पोटेशियम। NPK fertilizers. Now advantages of using fertilizers. Fertilizers being nutrient specific are used as required. क्योंकि ये न्यूट्रिएंट स्पेसिफिक होती है, जितनी ज़रूरत है उतनी हमें यूज करनी चाहिए. These are being concentrated are required in very small quantity. These are highly soluble in water. पानी में बहुत जल्दी डिजोल्व हो जाती है. They enhance plant metabolism and ensures high yield. They are easy to store and transport because they are compact. छोटे छोटे स्मॉल गनी बैग्स में इनको और बैग्स में फिल करके हम इजीली जो है इसको ट्रांसपोर्ट कर सकते हैं. डिसएडवांटेजेस ऑफ यूजिंग फर्टिलाइजर्स. Fertilizers change soil chemistry and make it either too acidic or too alkaline, and both are harmful. अगर बहुत ज़्यादा एसिडिक हो जाती है, अल्केलाइन या बहुत ज़्यादा अल्केलाइन हो जाती है, then we cannot grow plants in this field. They kill the soil organisms. They provide only short-term benefits. आपको बहुत शॉर्ट टर्म बेनिफिट्स देती है. अगर हम लगातार यूज करते रहें लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए तो इट डिग्रेड्स द क्वालिटी ऑफ सॉइल. सॉइल की क्वालिटी को रिड्यूस करते जाते हैं और एक टाइम ऐसा आता है कि आप कुछ भी ग्रो नहीं कर पाते इसमें. लीचिंग ऑफ फर्टिलाइजर्स कॉज पोल्यूशन ऑफ अंडरग्राउंड वाटर. Pollution of water of lakes and rivers by washed away fertilizers from the nearby fields causes eutrophication. आपने देखा होगा आसपास के जो फील्ड से एक्सेस वाटर है with this dissolved fertilizers that goes to the rivers and favors the growth of this algae which causes eutrophication and make the water unfit for consumption because other aquatic animals and plants they start dying in this water. Difference between manures and fertilizers. Manures, they are obtained mainly by decomposition of plants and animals' wastes, while fertilizers they are manufactured in industries. Manures, they remove the general deficiency of soil, while fertilizers, these provide specific nutrients to the soil. Manures contain only a small quantity of mineral salts, while fertilizers contain pure mineral salts. Manures improve the quality and texture of the soil, while fertilizers do not improve the quality and texture of soil. Manures provide organic matter or humus to the soil. Fertilizers, they lack organic matter, do not add any organic matter to the soil. Manures, they are sparingly soluble in water, means very little soluble in water and take a very long time to give the mineral to the soil. While fertilizers, they are readily soluble in water, बहुत जल्दी डिजोल्व हो जाती हैं and easily available. Minerals are easily available to the soil. Now organic farming. ऑर्गेनिक आजकल हम बहुत सुनते हैं कि ऑर्गेनिक फूड अवेलेबल है, ऑर्गेनिक पल्सेज अवेलेबल है, सीरियल्स अवेलेबल हैं. तो व्हाट इज़ दिस ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग? Organic farming is cultivation of crops without using chemical fertilizers, herbicides and pesticides. तो इस ऑर्गेनिक के नाम से ही मार्केट में बहुत सारी चीज़ें अवेलेबल हैं, बट नो बॉडी नोज दैट whether these are actually organic or not. They are raised by crop rotation, mixed cropping and intercropping. Advantages of organic farming. Before this we will do that what type of things we are using in organic farming, like biofertilizers. In the name of biofertilizers we are using blue green algae or leguminous plants. In this field we are biopesticides. They are used to kill the pests in the form of turmeric, neem leaves, etc. So advantages of using और एडवांटेजेज ऑफ ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग. हम ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग के एडवांटेजेस क्या क्या हैं? ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग डज नॉट कॉज एनी टाइप ऑफ पोल्यूशन because we are not using any chemical, so it will not cause any pollution, any type of pollution, either air pollution, water pollution or soil pollution. Crops obtained by organic farming are healthy and free from toxic chemicals. Harmful chemicals से free होती है. Soil texture and fertility are preserved by organic farming. This keeps pests and weeds under control by disrupting their habitats. Pests or weeds by crop rotation, or these are not available. Because pests and weeds, they are very specific in their food habits. If they are not having their food, they change their habitat, disrupt their habitat ही change हो जाता है. So